cranberries. Cranberries have a lot of vitamin C in them. A lot of people don't like cranberries, but if you add them, I don't like them by themselves, but if you add them to granola bars, muffins, just little things like that, bread. We're working on a sourdough starter. You could make a orange cranberry loaf. Those are very good. But what I do is I go through, I wash my cranberries, and then I will pick out the ones that are mushy. See that one, how mushy that is? I'll take that out, put it to the side, and I will grind those in the grinder for just a little bit, and I'll feed those to my chickens, or I'll put them in my meal for compost. But you want the ones that are hard, like this. See, that one's hard. It doesn't squeeze. And then what I'll do is I will cut them in half. Some people put them in a processor. I don't. I just cut mine in half like that. And then I'll put them in a bowl. Once I get them in the bowl, I will then add honey, pour honey over the top of them, and I use local honey. And I'll pour that over the top of them, mix it up, give it a good mix, add some extra virgin olive oil, and put that on there, add some salt, and then stick them in the dehydrator. My blueberries, I more or less just pick them, or I might mush them a little bit. It just depends on what I'm going to do with them. But most of the time, I'll get like a little, looks like a hair pick that my grandmother used to have, but it has points on it. And I just stab the blueberries with that and then put it on the tray. All right, we are finishing up with our last two. And here's our cranberries, all chopped. I have all of the mushy ones in my cute little coffee mug that I will chop and give to my chickens. Okay, now that I have everything chopped up, I'm going to add my salt. I use pink Himalayan salt, and I just sprinkle it around in there. It sounds like a lot's coming out, but it's not. Let me do it this way. Now I'm going to add my olive oil, and I just add a little. And then my locally sourced honey. And I'm using this to sweeten the cranberries because they can be bitter, and I don't want it to be loaded with processed sugar. Now I'll put me a glove on because I don't want to get the honey all over my hands. And I'll just sort of swirl this around. And make sure everything is mixed up in there real good. And this just makes them a little sweeter. And while that is resting for a little while, I will show you, this is the ones that I use for my tinctures, teas, and things of that nature. So I'll put these in a mason jar and store these for when I get ready to use them. These are not sweetened. They don't have any added sweeteners or anything on them. They're just plain dried cranberries. And since I have honey on this, I will line my tray that I'm going to use in my dehydrator. I will line it with parchment paper. I don't have the fruit roll-up sheets, so I just use parchment paper. And then these will dry. My dehydrator is Celsius, so I put it on 55 degrees Celsius. And I'll do it for probably about 12 plus hours. You can tell when they're ready. You don't want any moisture left in them because that can cause them to go sour. Since this glove is so big, I can just take it off like this. And I can reuse it. Okay, here's my parchment paper. I just lay it on my sheet there. Get my glove put back on. And then I'll just dump these out here. And spread them out. I may have to get another tray. Yeah, I'm going to have another tray. But, well, I may not have to. I'll get these spread out. And then just stick them in the dehydrator. And I will show you what these look like when they're finished.